Hey there, it's Pete with GCI Turf. I hope you're having a great day today. I want to welcome you out here to my shop. If you're new, I'm a lawn care channel. I own a lawn care business and I kind of do some DIY things, meaning I do things myself and try to help the DIY crowd have a nice yard. So out here at my shop, this is all 100% Bermuda. The side I'm standing on, we've overseeded it with rye. This side over here was overseeded with Kentucky bluegrass. It's a little bit of an experiment that I kind of feel flopped, but I'll talk about that a little later. At my home, I've got tall fescue, which is glowing like a new penny right now. And I've also got Kentucky bluegrass in the back, and then a little bit of ryegrass in the back as well. Everything's looking real good. That cool season turf is rocking and rolling right now. But today, I'm getting ready to enter a big part of this project I've been working on all year. So I want to kind of take you step by step through what I did and show you how I did it. Maybe you're wanting to install a natural area or a bed somewhere on your property, or maybe you've got a brand new construction and you're trying to lay out your beds. This is kind of how I do it, and I just want to show you, so maybe it'll help you. So I'm super anal about symmetry. I just am. I do drone shots out here. And so you're gonna see things from a distance, and I like things nice and perfectly spaced apart and all that kind of thing. I've always been super anal about the detail in my yard. So I've got a rectangle building here, I've got a road out there, a rectangle parking lot, and everything's kind of rectangly around here. So I kind of continued that flow with the front yard, and it's more of a rectangle shape. And so I need a starting point. So what that's going to be is the road. Okay, I'm going to pull measurements off of the road, and I ended up getting 68 feet, and I measured it down here, and then I went down the other end and got the same 68 feet. Now, why is that 68 feet important? Well, I don't know if you can, I don't want to walk right here because I just sprayed it with Roundup, but I've got a line pulled out through there, and what I did, I rechecked this line earlier today, and what that line is going to end up being, this is going to be where my fence is at. So I ended up going with a 5-foot high aluminum fence, something plain and simple. You know, it's got the pickets that go up and down, it's got 2 little rails on the top, nothing fancy. I just wanted something clean and nice looking. I wanted the fence symmetrical with the road, so that's why I pulled off the measurements I did so that it would be perfectly even and perfectly squared up with the road. Now the next thing I did is I needed to square up my beds, okay? From the fence to where the grass starts, I wanted the exact same amount of distance all the way down the back side here and all the way down the side here. So it's 7.5 foot on the dot, 7 foot 6 inches, all the way around. Of course, the corners where they're rounded a little bit, it's a little bit wider. And the way I did that, super simple. Just took a tape measure and pulled off my fence line, or where my fence is going to go, and measured out 7 foot 6 inches. And I drove a long bolt and a nail. I found some laying around the shop, and did that the whole entire way down the fence line. And then I took some just some regular old, I don't even know what you call it. What kind of string is that? Kind of looks like chalking string or something, but you know, just wrapped it around the nail and pulled it tight and made me a nice straight line. And that gave me something good to go by. So then I took my string trimmer, turned it upside down, and used it as a pencil. Yeah, you can use a string trimmer, weed eater, weed whacker, whatever you want to call it. You can use it as a pencil if you want to. And I drew out my line. I stayed really, really tight to that green line I had laid out. And I took my time and went super slow to make sure I didn't get off track. And I kind of used that as my gauge, or something I could go by. Now once I did that, I turned my string trimmer up the normal way you're supposed to use it, and I dug out, or kind of cut down the grass right up against that edge, super low and super tight. Now the reason I did that is, honestly, I'm trying to kill it. It's what I want to do without having to spray Roundup that close to my edging, because this time of the year, we're right after Thanksgiving. The Bermuda's dormant, nothing's gonna heal back up really quickly. So I didn't want any Roundup sprayed right up against the edging. So that's why I mechanically did that. Now in the future, if some comes up once I mulch it, I'll be extra careful and spray it out at that time. Now the next step in the process, what I did was I took my Echo Redefiner, I think that's what they call it. And it's basically a tool that'll cut a little bit of a groove. It's not really made to cut a hardcore deep edge. I think it's made to actually clean out an old or existing edge, but I used it to kind of mark out my edge and kind of define and give me a little bit of definition between the grass and where the mulch is going to be. Now I'm not completely sure that I'm going to want to go back and put a really deep groove on this turf, simply because 90% of the time I'm going to be real mowing this very short, and I'm really undecided if I want to turn the machine around at the end of a pass, turn it around in the grass, or if I want to leave a little bit of space in the mulch to where I can kind of ride up in the mulch and turn around. That way my striping patterns go all the way to the mulch and I don't have to outline when I get done mowing. So I'm not real sure if I'm going to leave it just like it is or if I'll come back and make that groove a little bit deeper. And the last step of the process, you want to remove, you can mechanically do it or chemically do it, and I chose to chemically do it with Roundup glyphosate, and I sprayed everything outside of the edge. Okay, I used a pump sprayer. Now here's the trick, I didn't pump it to death. Okay, I didn't build up super amounts of pressure and go spraying, because I'm getting really close to my edge and I don't want any drift or anything. So I kept the pressure really low, and you do that with a pump sprayer by not pumping it up so much. It's pretty simple. And so I took my time, got everything sprayed that was green outside of the edge, and now all I've got to do is wait. So in the next video out here, what I'll do is I'm gonna come out and lay out my beds, okay? Meaning lay out the plants or where I want the plants to be and what plants I'm going to use. So if you're all into low maintenance type stuff like I am, be sure and subscribe to the channel, hit your notification thing so that when I load that video, you can watch me do it. Now in no way am I a landscape architect. I've just been doing this kind of stuff for about 20 years now, and so I kind of have a good idea of what to do, and I'm really excited. I'm really excited. This is all coming together now. And I'm gonna say within about 2, maybe 3 weeks, at least by first of the year, this project should be complete. So it's gonna be really cool. I think they're about 2 weeks out on my fence, maybe 3 weeks, but I plan to have the plants in the ground, have it mulched 90%, and they can come over here and put the fence up from the outside, and everything should be done on the inside. So I'm stoked about it. We're gonna put some flower beds and stuff like that in here and put some color to make, give me a little extra pop. Now, I did it. I've been contemplating this for 2 or 3 weeks now, and on the ryegrass side looks phenomenal. The Kentucky bluegrass side looks you know what I'm saying? Now what I did when I seeded that, the Bermuda was super dense and super thick. I took it down to I think about 1/4 inch or something like that. And the germination was just okay on the bluegrass. I honestly think if I had to do it over again, I should have planted the bluegrass seed at the time I planted the Bermuda seed at the same time, but hindsight's 20/20, you know what I'm saying? I've done many things I regretted and wish I could do over, and this is probably one of them, but I fixed it. So what I did today, I give the yard a really quick mow and all this process of me out here working. And the right side with the Kentucky bluegrass, I took it down to 1/2 inch. Okay, been cutting this at 1.5 inches for a little while now. Took it down to 1/2 inch. And yeah, I did it. I went on and overseeded it with ryegrass. I know some of you is gonna kill me for doing it, but hey, I got plans for a big grand finale video type thing out here, and you can see some of the dormant Bermuda on the Kentucky bluegrass side, and it just looks okay. It doesn't look like I want it to look. So my fix for that was to just ryegrass the rest of it, and that's what I did. I even went out here and took my aerator and worked it in the ground a little bit, threw me out a little bit of starter fertilizer, didn't use a whole lot, just put just a little bit to kind of help it get going. Here in North Carolina in the month of December, typically we're mild enough to where this ryegrass should germinate. I can't give a guarantee on it because, to be honest with you, I don't think I've ever planted ryegrass in December. I think it's the first time I've done this, but we'll have to see what happens. And my goal is to get that ryegrass up, and as soon as I see germination, I'm gonna start hitting it with that spoon feeding fertilizer I'm getting ready to introduce to you in 2021. And I'm gonna probably spoon feed that joker every week and try to encourage it to get it to come on up and get rocking and rolling and catch up with the other side, so that in my big grand finale video, everything's looking its best out here and just rocking and rolling. That's my game plan, and I'm sticking to it. So hey, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch. Again, like, subscribe, and share, and tell all your buddies. And it's getting about right. I'm really getting excited about it now. I've been excited about it all year, but I'm really getting excited now because it's almost done. And all I gotta do is mow out here and do the normal things. So that's where we're at. So I appreciate you watching. I'll check you later.